what happened in the USA-Canada hockey match. Ladies and gentlemen, hockey fans, and anyone who loves the grit, passion, and sheer chaos of the greatest game on earth, let's talk about what went down in that epic USA-Canada showdown. This wasn't just a hockey game. It was a war on ice, a battle of wills, and a testament to why hockey is the most electrifying sport in the world. If you missed it, buckle up, because I'm about to take you through every bone-crunching hit, every jaw-dropping moment, and every twist and turn that made this game an instant classic. Let's start with the opening 9 seconds. Yes, you heard me right. Asterisk 9-second star. If you blinked, you missed it. The puck dropped, and before you could even settle into your seat, the gloves were off, and the fists were flying. This wasn't just one fight, it was two. Back-to-back. And not just any fights. These were personal. The first scuffle broke out, and before the refs could even restore order, the second one erupted. And here's the kicker. The second fight involved the brother of the guy who just threw down in the first one. I mean, come on! You can't script this stuff. I'll never forget Frankie's story about watching this game at home. He's sitting on his couch, volume low because the kids are asleep, subtitles on, and suddenly chaos erupts on the screen. His wife looks over and asks, "Are they still fighting? Or is this a new one?" And Frankie's like, "Nope, this is round 2, and it's the brother." That's hockey, folks. That's why we love it. But let's talk about JT Miller for a second. This guy was an absolute madman. He was ready to fight anyone. I'm talking about a guy who looked at Cole Perfetti, a 6 feet 6 inches beast, and said, "Yeah, I'll take him on." And he did. At one point, Miller even punched himself in the face, trying to land an uppercut. I mean, that's the kind of heart and determination you want to see in a player. Miller wasn't just playing hockey. He was sending a message. Now, after all that chaos, the game finally settled into, actual hockey. And let me tell you, it was worth the wait. The energy in the building was electric. You could feel the intensity through the screen. This wasn't just a game. It was USA versus Canada, two hockey powerhouses going toe-to-toe, and neither side was backing down. But here's where things went sideways for Canada. They only scored one goal. One. With all that offensive firepower, McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, you'd expect more. But credit where credit's due. The Americans played a near-perfect defensive game. They clogged up the middle of the ice, forced Canada to the outside, and shut down their passing lanes. Every time Canada tried to make a play, there was an American stick in the way, a body in the lane, or a goalie standing tall. Speaking of goalies, let's talk about Connor Hellebuyck. This guy was a wall. The one goal Canada scored, it was a thing of beauty. McDavid splitting the defense and firing it home. But let's be real, that's a goal no goalie on earth is stopping. Hellebuyck was rock solid the rest of the way, and when the game was on the line, he made the saves he needed to make. On the flip side, Canada's goaltending situation was complicated. Jordan Binnington got the start, and while he wasn't bad, he only let in 2 goals. You have to wonder if a change might have made a difference. Adin Hill was sitting on the bench, and some folks were calling for him to get the nod. But here's the thing. If you'd told me before the game that Binnington would only give up 2 goals, I'd have taken that in a heartbeat. The problem wasn't the goaltending. It was the lack of offense. And that brings me to my next point, roster decisions. Let's be honest, Canada left some weapons at home. Tom Wilson, for example. This guy is a unicorn, a rare blend of skill, size, and toughness. In a game like this, where physicality was a factor, Wilson could have been a game changer. And then there's Zach Hyman. This guy knows how to play with McDavid. They have chemistry. They figured it out in Edmonton. Why not bring that same dynamic to the national team? Instead, Canada was juggling lines, trying to find the right combinations, and it showed. Brad Marchand was another guy who could have made a bigger impact. He had his moments, but in a game like this, you need the Rat to be at his pesky, disruptive best. Marchand is the kind of player who can tilt the ice in your favor, and Canada needed more of that. Now, let's give the Americans their due. They came to play. Charlie McAvoy was a beast on the blue line. The catch-out brothers brought size and strength. And guys like Slavin and Faber did a fantastic job shutting things down. This was a team effort, and it showed. The U.S. played with discipline, structure, and heart, and they earned that win. But here's the thing, this isn't over. Canada still has a chance to bounce back, and they've got a tough test ahead with Finland. The Finns are coming off a huge win over Sweden, and they're not going to roll over. If Canada wants to get back on track, they need to exploit Finland's defense. Barkov and Rantanen are world-class players. But if Canada can keep them quiet and test Finland's depth, they've got a shot. And let's not forget, this is a short tournament. There's no time to dwell on what went wrong. Canada needs to regroup, refocus, and come out swinging. They've got the talent. They've got the skill. Now, they just need to put it all together for a full 60 minutes. So, what's the bottom line? This USA-Canada game was everything we love about hockey. It was intense, physical, and unpredictable. It had fights, goals, and moments that'll be talked about for years to come. And while Canada came up short this time, you can bet they'll be back with a vengeance. Because that's what hockey is all about. It's not just a game, it's a battle. It's a test of skill, will, and heart. And when you're talking about USA versus Canada, it's personal. It's pride. It's legacy. Expanding the story, the broader context. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This game wasn't just about one night. It was about decades of rivalry, national pride, and the relentless pursuit of hockey supremacy. USA versus Canada is more than just a matchup. It's a clash of cultures, a battle for bragging rights, and a showcase of the best talent in the world. Historically, Canada has dominated international hockey. From the Summit Series in 1972 to the Golden Goal in Vancouver in 2010, Canada has built a legacy of excellence. But the Americans? They've been chipping away at that legacy, game by game, tournament by tournament. This win wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. The U.S. is here to compete, and they're not going anywhere. The role of coaching. Let's talk about coaching for a minute. John Cooper, behind the bench for Canada, is one of the best in the business. But even the best coaches face tough decisions, and this game was no exception. The decision to stick with Binnington in net, the line juggling, the handling of the physicality, it all came under scrutiny. On the other side, the U.S. coaching staff deserves a ton of credit. They had a game plan, and they executed it to perfection. They neutralized Canada's stars, capitalized on their opportunities, and kept their composure when things got heated. That's the mark of a well-coached team. The X factors. Every game has its X factors. Those little moments that swing the momentum and change the outcome. For the U.S., it was their ability to capitalize on Canada's mistakes. A turnover here, a missed assignment there, and suddenly, the puck's in the back of the net. For Canada, the X factor was their inability to finish. They had chances, good chances, but they couldn't bury them. Whether it was a missed shot, a great save by Hellebuck, or a defensive play by the U.S., Canada just couldn't find the back of the net enough. Looking ahead. As we look ahead to the rest of the tournament, one thing is clear. This rivalry is alive and well. The U.S. has the momentum, but Canada has the talent and the pride to bounce back. And let's not forget about the other teams in the mix. Finland, Sweden, Russia, they're all hungry and they're all capable of making a run. For Canada, the path forward is simple. Play their game. They need to get back to what makes them great: speed, skill, and relentless pressure. They need to find the right line combinations, get their power play clicking, and tighten up defensively. For the U.S., the challenge is to keep the momentum going. They've proven they can beat the best, but in a short tournament, there's no room for complacency. They need to stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep playing with that same edge that got them here. Final thoughts. At the end of the day, this is why we love hockey. It's not just about the goals or the saves or the fights. It's about the passion, the intensity, and the sheer unpredictability of it all. USA versus Canada is more than just a game. It's a spectacle, a tradition, and a reminder why the sport means so much to so many people. So, to all the fans out there, keep watching, keep cheering, because this tournament is far from over. And if this game was any indication, the best is yet to come.